Alright, we're gonna make some vegan chili. Well, I think this is gonna be vegetarian because the Morning Star may have egg in it. So first, here's your ingredients: black pepper, garlic, onion, salt, ground red pepper, chili powder, cumin, half an onion, and I also like to use the chive onions, one jalapeno. This is 2 boca patties, and here is the Morningstar crumbles, and I believe they may have egg in it. Let's look at the ingredients. Nope, no eggs, so this will be vegan. So that is a good thing. And 3 cans of tomato sauce, no salt. All right.
So with the boca
begin.
patties, mine was frozen. So what I usually do, I'll bring a pot to boil. Well, I'll let it boil when it starts boiling, you know what I mean. We'll put the patties in there, still in the package, and we'll let that steam inside the package as it boils. This way it'll be easier.
In our next pot,
cut. We're gonna put vegetable oil in it, and I'd say about a half a cup. I already got half of a cup in there already. So we're gonna put another bit of it in. You want to coat that bottom, make sure it's about a half a cup of oil. And you put this on medium heat and let that start to warm up, because you're gonna need that warm when you get ready to start cooking. Okay?
And next, we are definitely gonna start chopping the onion, and we're gonna chop it in dices. So now the onion is diced, and that's about 2 cups of onions. And now again, I mix the chives and the regular onions together, which is a white onion, and with the chives. So we're gonna dump all these in our pot. We're gonna get the cooking process started. And that was the pot that we put the oil in. So we're gonna go ahead and dump those in, and they should start automatically cooking. You want these to sweat as we go. And I know I dropped a few on the stove, but we'll put those in the pot in just a second. All the onions are in, so let's give this a little quick stir. So all the onions are pretty much getting coated with oil. Again, that's vegetable oil. This is 2 cups of onions. And these onions are gonna go far with flavoring, I promise you. All right, let's go on to the next step. The next step is dicing the jalapeno. Once we dice this, we're gonna dump it in the pot and let it sweat with the onions. Make sure you take out the center. You don't need any of this in there. This is where all the heat comes from the seeds and this white part, and that's pretty spicy. So you don't want all that in your chili, because it's gonna boost the fire level up. You don't want to burn yourself up. But take all the seeds out, and then we're gonna dice it. So there you have it. Our jalapeno is diced. We're gonna go ahead and throw these in the pot. All right, jalapenos are in. Let's get at a little stir. Make sure they're coated with the oil, and we're still cooking on medium heat to get everything sweating and get everything going. All right, and it looks like the boca is boiling away. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this fire off, let the steam and the hot water take care of the rest. And I did flip it over once, one side to the other, and I'll flip it over again, so both sides will be cooked. And you can also cook these the same way when they're frozen if you want to just make a burger out of the same stuff. So you can do the same thing. You just cook it this way. It keeps the flavor intact, and it's better than using a microwave. I don't like using microwaves, but this is the next best thing. If you have patience, cook it this way. Save a lot of time. Well, you'll save more time using a microwave, but this will taste much better, and you won't kill your nutrients using a microwave. All right, so we got this out. So I like to leave it on a plastic, and I dice this as well. And I'll just take the plastic and dump the meat off of it into the pot. So let's go ahead and dice this up, and we'll get this in the pot.
As you can see, I didn't cut it down too small because I want these chunks in there, and they'll break down a little bit more, but you still want that natural flavor that you get from normal beef. It looks like this in most cases. You have those chunks in your chili. So I want that same type of texture. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in the pot, and that way it'll still give me that texture I'm looking for when I'm just eating regular chili. All right, so we got the meat in the chili with the onion. Well, not meat, but the Boca burgers. So we're gonna mix it around a little bit. I know the pot's moving because we have a range with the glass stop, which is cool. I like it. So we're gonna kind of chop it up just a tad bit by pressing down on it, breaking it up just a little bit. We don't want to break it up too much, but yeah, mix this around. And then we'll let it cook just a couple more seconds. Well, maybe a half a minute, 30 seconds. And then we'll go ahead and dump in the crumblets. All right, so I'm cooking it for a little bit. So here's the crumblets. We're gonna dump those in. We're gonna do the whole bag, and that's about 12 ounces. Dump the whole thing in. There you go. And then we'll give that a stir. That way we can go ahead and get everything cracking with this. Break it down, mix in the onions on it, everything. And you'll be surprised how that Boca, which is the original Boca brand, is just the normal burger patty for Boca. You don't want to get the ones that has different flavoring. You just want just the original kind. Has just the normal flavor. Same thing with the crumblets, the Morningstar crumblets. And the Morningstar is still frozen, by the way, so it doesn't matter because once we put the tomato sauce in it, it's gonna be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap. We got all this mixed in. You can hear that char from the bottom. So next, we're gonna start with our seasoning. The first seasoning we're gonna go with is garlic. And you can never have enough garlic. All right. And I'll say, give it a quick measure. I'm gonna say like 3 tablespoons of garlic, and that looks like a lot, but it's really not. It's 3 tablespoons of garlic. Give that a mix. And every spice that you add, every ingredient that you add, make sure you mix it, because it incorporates better. And it does look a little dry to me. It may need a little bit more oil. You don't want to put too much oil because it'll make the chili greasy. But normal chili, if you cook it, it's greasy. But yeah. So we got the garlic in. Now let's go with the chili powder. And same thing with the chili powder. I like to go with, 3 tablespoons too. And remember, these are tablespoons. It looks like a lot, but it's not. This is chili. Because this flavor it keeps you from using a lot of salt. Trust me, you don't want to use a lot of salt in chili because it's going to make it super salty. And I think we may need more oil. So let me mix this and then we'll put more oil. We're not going to put a lot more oil in it because I don't want it to be too oily. So I'll say maybe 2 tablespoons of oil. 2 tablespoons of oil. Tablespoons. And mix that around. And it helps saturate into the meat. This pot is spinning. Look at that. It's already starting to smell like chili with the chili powder. That's not the key ingredient, but the key ingredient is coming up next. Now, I always wondered, why doesn't chili powder make chili taste like chili? It's because we're missing one thing, and that was cumin. Then we put, same thing, about 3 tablespoons inside, 3 tablespoons cumin. Oh, it smells so good. If you can smell this, you trip out. I had my brother taste this, Eric, and he was like, bro, this ain't meat. No, it's not meat. It's just crumblets and boca patties. All right, so let's mix this up, and then we'll put in the next ingredient, okay? And our next ingredient is onion powder. And just like everything else, 3 tablespoons of onion powder. And the one thing I love is it's powdered. There's no salt in it. Let's see if there's any sodium at all. It doesn't have the nutritional chart on here, but I'm pretty sure there's no sodium in here. But onion powder, 3 tablespoons. Even though we already have onion in it, this is gonna boost it up even more. Promise you. So our next ingredient is black pepper, pure black pepper, pure ground pepper. Now you don't really need a lot of black pepper in it at all, because you're gonna actually put in the red pepper flakes. So we're probably gonna do like maybe a half a tablespoon or a teaspoon, basically. And it's not very much, so because we don't want it too spicy where you can't eat it, but that will work. So we're gonna mix this up, and we're going to the next thing. And the next thing is red chili, ground red pepper flakes. Well, you know it's ground red pepper. Just a little bit, just a smidge, because remember we already got the jalapeno in here. So this just gives it an added flavor. We want to make it 3 alarm, so this may be 1 alarm chili. It's a little spicy, but not too spicy. So we'll mix it up, and then we'll add the last basic seasoning that we're gonna need. Last seasoning, but not least, is our salt. So we're gonna probably put maybe 2 teaspoons of salt in here. 2 teaspoons. I'm just lightly coating it to make it a teaspoon. So that should be good enough. Lightly coated. I don't want to over salt it again. So we're gonna go. All the other seasoning is gonna actually be enhanced by the salt. So you don't need to put a lot of salt in it. So just if you don't have to put too much salt in it, you're good. But just a teaspoon of salt, maybe. No, I'm sorry, not. Yeah, teaspoon. Teaspoon of salt should be perfectly fine. We'll mix this up, and we'll put the last thing in it. Our last ingredient is tomato sauce. So we're gonna throw 3 cans of tomato sauce in here. Don't throw the cans away just yet, because you're gonna put water in it. All right, so we're gonna dump 3 cans in, and then we'll mix it, and we'll put halfway up with water of the can. So you're gonna keep these cans and just do halfway up with water, and then you dump the same water. Dump that water in here as well. Okay, so I mixed in the tomato sauce. Now I'm just mixing a little bit more. So as you can see, it is chili. And at this stage, you actually can turn the fire down to about on a slow simmer. I mean, about right there, almost low, but you want it to just kind of simmer. You don't want to cook it too fast because it will stick at the bottom. You don't want that. So we'll let this cook for about 15 minutes at the most, because this is already cooked as far as the boca and the crumblets. You don't have to do too much with it, but I'll sample it at that point, and I'll adjust my flavorings as we do it. All right, hold on. All right, so we cooked it for a little bit. Let me sample it real fast. Okay, so I think we need a little bit more cumin, a smidget of more salt, and a bit more garlic. So let's put that in real quick. All right, we're gonna put a little bit more garlic. That's about a tablespoon. Mix that in. Okay, now let's put the cumin in next. All right, here goes the cumin. So that's another tablespoon. I love the flavor of cumin. So we're gonna mix that in. Oh look, man, this is smelling really good. And just a smidget of salt. We're gonna dust it again, but just dust it. You don't need to put too much salt. Just dust it. Okay,
good. You mix that in, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes or so, 6 minutes, to see if the flavors marry. All right, hold on. All right, so I ended up adding another can of tomato sauce in it, and just a little bit more chili powder. And what else did I add? That's about it. Those two ingredients I had to add more to. So now I'll let this cook, but that is how you make vegan chili. So tell me what you think, guys, when you make your own. All right, if it turns out good, kudos, but it should.